You want a piece of me?
Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
Good morning, Vietnam! I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
I feel the need for speed.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
Love means never having to say you're sorry.
You do? You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
What up, film fans? Happy Tuesday. Welcome to episode 385. Welcome to Goodboy. You're listening to another new episode of the Cine-Men movie podcast. Zach, what up, man? How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How about you? It's been kind of a crazy 2 weeks, but hey, I turned 34 over the weekend, so it wasn't too bad of a weekend.
34, man. Zach, you're getting old on me. I'm gonna have to dump you and find somebody newer like Leo.
I'm glad I know where I stand with your friendship, especially with this podcast.
All jokes aside, man, crazy 2 weeks. Wrapped up a lot of stuff. Grammys, Super Bowl, on to the Oscars. We talked about nominations a few weeks ago. We also talked about Golden Globes. It's been about a month and a half since Golden Globes. And now we're coming down to our own best of top 5 plus 5 movies of 2022. There's so much to get through. I can't wait. It's just a few weeks away. It's one of the biggest and exciting episodes of the year. We talk favorites. That is literally favorites of 2025. Actor, actress, directors, song, animated feature, movies. So it's going to be fun. Play along with us. Send us in your top 5 movies of last year of 2025, and we'll put them in on the show. We'll talk about it. We'll read out some emails. It's our very big email-heavy show. But this week is something a little bit different. This week we're talking about Goodboy. If you want to help out and help contribute to the podcast, there you go. Scan it, get Zach some new headphones, get him a birthday gift, get me a birthday gift, and we can continue awning. Last week we had a very good conversation, a fun one-on-one conversation about Wake Up Dead Man. That movie is streaming exclusively on Netflix, so go check it out. You can listen to that episode or any of our past episodes, all in the archives. Just go to our social media pages. Facebook.com/The Cine-Men Movie Podcast. The Instagram is all one word / The Cine-Men Movie Podcast. The X is right there, Cine405. And you can send us in some emails at cinemen921@gmail.com. Listen to us. We're everywhere. You can also watch us live on Facebook and Emus Raw Productions YouTube channel. So check us out. Also, go hit us up on www.prescribedfilms.com. There you can find out tons of other podcasts, including us and some others as well. So, Zach, what about some recent watches? Do you have anything that you want to get off your chest and recommend anybody?
Yeah, just real quick. Watched Goodboy for today's episode, and I rewatched Black Bag, the Steven Soderbergh, Michael Fassbender, Kate Blanchett movie from last year. It'll be interesting, man. That's the one I kind of was talking to you off air about. May or may not make my top 10. I got like 6 other movies to watch, but we'll find out. That is streaming on Amazon Prime if you're curious. It's an hour and 30 minutes. You're in and you're out. It's a great, slick, stylish, kind of Hitchcockian thriller. So I don't know if you got a chance to see it last year, but it's pretty good.
No, this week I did check out If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You.
On HBO Max.
Dude, it's good. It is an anxiety-driven performance. To me, she's not as good as Jennifer Lawrence. I still feel like Jennifer Lawrence should at least been nominated.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had to pick like
secondary pick,
if I had to pick the top 3, it'd be Jennifer Lawrence, Emma Stone, and Rose Byrne.
Okay.
So those are 3 great performances. Like Zach said, it's on HBO Max. Go check it out. And then, Zach, I checked out and finished The Long Walk, man.
What'd you think?
It's good.
Right?
It is good. The way people are, I don't want to get into it and get too spoiler heavy, But man, I finished it today, and it's one of those movies that whenever it's over, you just sit.
You want to watch it again?
Yeah, but you just sit and you think about it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
fabulous movie.
I'll just say, like I said, that's probably for sure in my top 10, maybe my top 5 of the year. And I honestly, man, I would love. It's probably deserving of an episode because there'd be a lot to talk about with that.
Yeah, and this is how like heavy it is on me. I finished it about an hour ago, and I'm thinking I still know like I'm like 4.5 or 5. That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a
So
great. It's not streaming anywhere, I don't think. I think both you and me have the Blu-ray of it, but it's. I think when it hits streaming, I think it might get like a second life. Honestly,
yeah, but it is Lionsgate, so that's usually what Paramount.
Paramount or Peacock, I think one of the two.
Yeah. So, but yeah, if you guys have anything you want to recommend to us, send us a shout out, and we will.
Okay, I lied. I actually lied. It's actually if you have stars, you can watch it on that for right now. So,
oh, gross.
No one even knows what that is anymore.
Yeah. But let's get into today's episode. Today we're talking about Goodboy. Currently on IMDb is it at 6.1, a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 73% on the Metacritic score, a 3.0 on the Letterboxd. With a $70,000 budget, it grossed a little over $8.7 million at the box office. A loyal dog moves to a rural family home with his owner, only to discover supernatural forces lurking in the shadows. As dark entities threaten his human companion, the brave pup must fight to protect the ones he loves. Starring Indy the dog and Shane Jensen. Also, there's Aurelie Friedman, and it's directed by Ben Leonberg. It's an indie film, very, very independent, $70,000 budget. But Zach, let's get into it. It's on Shudder. It's streaming on Shudder exclusively. Usually with their popular films, they put out physical media. So look out for that real soon. Zach, do you remember the first time you seen it, and what was it like revisiting it for the episode?
Yeah. I had heard about this probably about a month, maybe a month and a half before the release. I thought it was a very interesting concept for a movie, something I'd never seen before. There's been 8 gazillion haunted house movies, but doing it from the perspective of a dog, I thought, okay, that's kind of interesting. I did get to see this in the theater. It was kind of released on the same day as the Smashing Machine, so I thought that was kind of interesting. But I don't know what it is about it. Maybe it was just the ambitious concept, or maybe just the atmospheric tone. But in the theater, I had a blast with it. And on this rewatch, I feel the exact same way. I think I might be hyping this up too much, but this is probably one of the most original horror movies I've seen in a while, in my opinion. So what do you think about it?
I only watched it for this one watch of the episode. Didn't check it out in the theater. But let's get back off of the gravy train for a minute. Let's see what I did there. I wasn't in love with it. I love the concept. I love the idea. I love the performance, but the it factor for me just wasn't there, and I think that's maybe what it was. It was so hyped up that at the end of the day, I'm like, it's a B-rated horror movie that just made a lot of money because of I'm going to say dog lovers wanted to go see it.
Well, I mean, I don't even think it was dog lovers. I mean, to be honest with you, I was the only one in that theater when it came out.
And I'm sitting here thinking, like, we can talk about it. We can start digging into it. Like I said, we're 10 minutes into the episode. Go check it out. It's on Shudder. It's exclusively streaming on Shudder. Sign up for a 7-day free trial. Stop being lazy. Go watch it.
And AMC Plus.
Yeah.
You can get a 7-day free trial with that as well.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, let's dig into it. If you have some questions, go for it. But I just was not in love with it. Like I said, it's an hour and 17 minutes. So you're in, you're out. There's a few cool pop-up conception scenes. There's a few scenes that I'm like, that's interesting, that's cool, that's freaky. But honestly, I'm left with the first 40 minutes is just kind of a bluff for me. It doesn't, and I mean, yeah, we can talk about it. I don't want to completely trash on it because there was some cool stuff I liked about it.
I mean, just listing off I'll just listen off my notes. Ambitious concept. I thought it was very atmospheric tone. The thrills actually were not stupid jump scares. I thought they were earned, in my opinion. The dog's performance. I mean, if you didn't have a good dog, then this, I don't think this movie would even matter anymore. No one would care. I thought it had a lot of good emotional themes. I thought the cinematography was really good. And I thought it was very interesting, I guess, because it is from a dog's perspective. We don't see no human faces until, again, spoilers into the movie, Todd's death. I mean, literally, like the last, like maybe 10, 15 minutes of the movie.
And yeah, like that is cool. I was talking to somebody about this movie, and they were like, when the dog gets scared, is there like a Scooby Doo like voice that comes out? And I'm like, not that kind of movie.
No, no.
But I'm like, so all that stuff is nice to see, and it's very cool. To me, it's a one-sided concept, and I'm like, been there. Once I see it, I don't think there. To me, at least, you said you had a fun second time with it. To me, I feel like with one of these kind of concept feelings, it's a one and I'm done kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I had this much negativity on the first watch, I might just nitpick that much even more. And again, I love independent horror. I love independent filmmaking, but I don't know, like to me, the story was there. I love the concept. I'm going to use that word, loosely. I love the concept of looking at it from the dog's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, nothing picked up, and it wasn't ready, set, fire, go until the last 25 minutes. And you're talking about a movie that's an hour and 12 minutes.
Yeah.
So the first 45 minutes is kind of rough.
Yeah, I mean, I just didn't feel that. I mean, maybe because I own we have a dog in the house. And I am a dog lover. Seeing the montage of Indy when he was a puppy, and just kind of seeing that, building that dynamic between owner and dog relationship, it really bonded. So like when Todd has his outburst of like, get the F out of here, it hits, in my opinion. So, I mean, I will grant you I remember the first time I see it, I kind of agree with you. The first hour, it's only an hour and 13 minutes, but the first time I did think the pacing of it was a little slow, to be honest, at certain points. I was like, okay, like I think you could have done this as a
short film.
A short film. It could still be the haunted house theme of the movie. You could have cut out this is my grandfather's house in the woods, and he died here too with his dog. I think you could have cut that out and still have the same story, and it'd be like literally an hour or maybe hour and 5-minute movie.
And see, that's a good push up. But when the dog first goes down to the basement and sees the dog's skeleton,
mm-hmm.
I was like, maybe Todd and the dog have been dead this entire time.
See, and that would have been I think that would have been a really good twist. I don't know if it would have, like a kind of like a Shutter Island thing, where like he was there the entire time.
He was the ghost the entire time. He was the ghost the entire time.
See, like I think that would have been a good idea. I just don't. I'll be the first to admit it. Anytime something happens to a dog or an animal in a movie, like it, I'm like, I'm out. I'm one of those. So as long as we didn't see the dog die, I think I would have been okay with that.
Yeah, but I don't think you needed to see any kind of. I don't even think you need to see Todd die.
Mm-hmm.
But like, to me, it didn't start picking up until the dog was on top of the doghouse in the rain.
Oh, like the climax of the movie, essentially, when and then you figure out that Todd's actually dead, and he gets like
taken out
by the spirit or whatever it is. Yeah,
I was like, "Ooh, ghost, Patrick Swayze vibes."
Right, but not that type of ghost.
No, like I liked the scenes where like the dog was in the woods and he saw the other person. The jump scares, like you said, they were earned, and it wasn't like a massive letdown, and it also wasn't like a massive like over the top. So I will agree with you. Like it will, and it does have its moments. My final number grade with this, and I don't want people to think I'm completely trashing the movie. My final grade is going to be solely based on rewatchability.
Yeah.
So it's it's really bad if I can't physically grab it and stick it in. But if I have to go out of my way to pay for streaming, then that's going to be even worse for me.
And it will. I did see it's going to get a Blu-ray release in March. Actually, I think like the second week of March.
Yeah.
And it has surprisingly enough, it actually has a lot of special features like the making of. There's a director's commentary, some deleted scenes, which that's one good thing about it. I'm glad this movie wasn't longer than what it is. Like it does. It would, like, if it was an hour and a half, I probably wouldn't be as high on it as I am. I thought one of the greatest, not jump into favorite scenes, but I thought one of the greatest shots in the movie was, I think it was one of the nightmare sequences that Indy has, and you see the reflection of his eye lenses, or no, that's not the right word. His pupil, and you see like the hand coming out towards him. I thought that was like a really great, that got me in the theater and it got me at home. So I thought that was like one of the best jump scares of the movie.
Are you an average Shudder exclusive member, or did you just sign up for the watch?
I just signed up for the watch. I didn't even get Shudder. I just signed up for Amazon, not Amazon, AMC Plus. I heard there's actually a lot of good Shudder original movies on there.
There is. It's like $7.99 or $8.99 a month or something. But I'm just like, but yeah, like same. I don't want to continue to just trash this movie, but that's what it was for me. A few of the dream sequences were good. Like I said, where he starts sitting on top of the doghouse, that's when it really picks up for me. I kind of wish there was a little bit more human dialogue in the movie. Like you obviously get, Todd talking to the female. You also get maybe Todd talking to somebody else, and you get the gist of he is on the verge of like ODing. And he's on the verge of, but what's causing the OD? I don't necessarily have to probably know what's causing him to reach out for the drugs, but I guess in this movie, in this aspect, you're lost just like the dog is.
Well, and I think that's part of the things that's one of the things I enjoyed about it is like, I just to make some notes, some pinpoints through the movie, like I knew going in that Todd was suffering from like a chronic lung disease. It had nothing to do with drugs. But like when he went to the clinical trials office and says you can't because you're too sick, I was like, that's really all you need, honestly. You don't need to go like the whole backstory of how he got diagnosed and all this. And that's even explained in the montage at the beginning of the movie. He gets sick and we don't really know what's going on. And then just, he's too proud to ask for help. And that's ultimately what causes his death, essentially, by the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And so the one thing I thought, and I noticed this the second time, was when they meet the Hunter character, which doesn't have any bearing on the plot at all. He says, be careful. There's a lot of fox traps in here, fox snares in the woods. I thought that would come back where Indy gets trapped, like out there when he runs out in the forest and he can't come back to save Todd, but never, that hasn't, or maybe they use the snares to trap the spirit or something, but it never comes back.
Yeah, that's like a plot hole that's just kind of there. Like you didn't need the hunter, you didn't need the mentioning of any of the traps or anything like that. Yeah. Unless it was like an eternal thing, like you said. But yeah. I mean,
or it could have been like a real like serial killer vibe where it's not a ghost, but it's actually
a person.
A person, yeah.
That's true too.
So
it is astonishing to me that in this day and age, the budget was $70,000 and it grossed that much money at the box office.
Yeah. And I was thinking to myself, there was another movie that came out, Dangerous Animals, the shark movie.
Oh, that's a good movie.
That was a Shudder movie as well, and it had a budget of $2 million, and it made almost $10 million at the box office. So
that had Jai Courtney in it too.
Yeah, and that's actually.
Have you seen it?
I agree with you. I actually saw that in the theater as well, and that's actually a pretty fun B shark movie.
Yeah, that's a very good movie. I like that a lot.
So what was it like? Maybe because you're dealing with sharks and like crazy serial killers, like feeding people to sharks. Is that why that one is a little bit more enjoyable because that is a Shutter movie that as well
Yeah,
as this
it,
one.
it was a much faster pace of a film, and to me there was a little bit of an anxiety driven score and,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of like a high pressure payoff like ending. This one, to me, the score was just kind of bland, and there was nothing about this movie that kept me on the edge of my seat.
That's fair. Um,
And
I
like I
mean,
said, it's nothing negative towards the movie or the dog. I didn't have that big what's going to happen at the end because of there only being the dog as the main character and then Todd as the side point character. To be honest with you, I had no connection towards Todd whatsoever. So
no,
he could have died. He could have ran in front of oncoming traffic. I wouldn't have cared if Todd lived or died.
no. And I totally get your I guess you want to call them criticisms of the movie that there's nothing like when you watch Dangerous Animals, you are genuinely curious how is that girl going to get off the boat and not get
Yeah,
eaten by sharks. That is, I mean, that is a huge difference between the two films. It's much more fast paced. There's much more stakes in it. There's obviously a lot more bloody violence in it than this, but it's more of a horror movie. This is probably more of a psychological thriller, to be honest. Um, I thought that when we get to which is it's not funny, but like being movie fans, we catch on to more homages and tributes to other films. Like when Indy takes the bath, and that is a clear Psycho reference with
oh
walk
yeah,
seeing the blood and the mud going down, circling the drain. Even Todd's shadow contour of the body where it's like it's very backlit and you can't really see his face is very reminiscent of Norman Bates, killing Marion in the shower. So that's like Psycho was like a very heavy influence on that scene. But I dig it, I mean, it worked, and most people would laugh it off, but I don't know, it just worked for me, I guess.
and that's what's good about movies just in general is the fact that you can take a side human character and a dog main character and do good work with it and make it watchable and make it memorable and just make it profitable in this day and age is
Yeah.
saying something. So, like I said, I know it sounds like I'm knocking the movie, but it's not my cup of tea, and I don't know if I'll ever rewatch it again. But as far as the concept and the look of it, it's a great film.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
I went back and looked at the opening weekend of this, and it came in the top 10. It came in number 7. Smash Machine came in number 3, and the Taylor Swift release of a Showgirl thing was number 1, obviously. But I mean, for this, like you said, for this to be like a $70,000 film, it made its budget and way more, and still made some kind of quote unquote cultural stance that people were curious to go see it.
you hear that thing that's going around right now, and obviously this might be some kind of filler, but you hear one of the trends going on right now is like some of these directors and movie studios are going out and trying to get these famous YouTube and TikTokers to come and like make a movie or to come to be in one of their movies because they think their massive following is going to reflect in the movie theater. What do you think of that?
I know I'm going to get hate mail from this, but it just TikTok is like I feel like in 20 years time, that's like going to be such like a blip, meaning that like, everyone was on it and everyone cared about it. But then like 5 years after its release, I guess technically we're at 5 years because I think didn't it come out during COVID or something like that?
Something like that.
It's still massively popular, but like in 10 years, okay, let's do 10 years past its release. There'll be another social media. There'll be a new thing that everyone craves about. And then TikTok will be no more. And so, I
It's
get that
just these
content
YouTube.
creators is like the main thing now, but I don't know. What are your thoughts on it?
I think it is kind of ridiculous. Like I heard it on the radio that one of these. There's a movie coming out now that just hit theaters this past weekend. It's like a sci-fi.
Iron
Like
Lung, is that the one you're talking about?
I think so, and
Yeah,
it's like made by or starring a YouTube creator, and
yeah.
they think like his YouTube following is going to get people in the theater seats, and I'm like that's interesting, and I heard somebody on the radio say that it was an interesting movie, but how many let's just say this is the one good time it's a good movie, and like how much crap are we going to have to watch or sit through now to where people are going to just continue to follow that trend? How many things are they going to throw on the wall to see if it sticks? And I'm like, that's just how you get a bunch of bad stuff that's out there.
Well, and to be honest with you, man, like every time I open the Reel app, I see Iron Lung as being like it's show. I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what the movie's about, to be honest. But the fact that it came in second place this weekend behind Sam Raimi's new movie, Send Help, which I've heard nothing but good things about. It, I mean, we can get on here and complain about it, but that doesn't. It got second place, man, and made money. So is that just like a turn of what's coming for the business, or is it just just like a little small blip in the ever-changing movie culture?
We'll see. It'll be interesting. Coming in number two is pretty huge. And if other studios get wind of like, hey, these YouTube creators, whether it's crap or not, they're going to put butts in theater seats.
Do you
And
think
and how desperate are these movie studios to try that?
and that's the thing though, but I mean, if you can get, do you think the days of like, and again, we'll get back to Goodboy here in a minute because we're just filling time at this point. Do you think that the days of like Spielberg and Scorsese and De Palma and Coppola, they make these like little TV movies and then they do, we're talking about Raging Bull next month and, Schindler's List and all these, big movies. Do you think like the days of like, I'm going to go prove myself to be a competent filmmaker and then I get to make the projects that I want to make? Do you think those days are over, or do you think
I
they're
think
still going?
it's over because look at how many movie studios now are declining, movies, and these old time directors are now having to go to Netflix to make their stuff. They're having to go to Amazon Prime or Apple TV now to make their stuff because there is a little bit more leeway with, oh, okay, you don't have to make $10 million opening weekend or 25 or $30 million now opening weekend. Like
Yeah.
I think that day and age is over. I think between now and the next 5 years, I think the movie theater business is only going to be for blockbusters. And I think that's sad, but like movies like Hamnet, look at that. That's already on streaming. It just hit streaming today, as well as The Housemaid. Like
Yeah.
The Housemaid, I think made more money than Hamnet, but they're already on
And it's
streaming.
still in theaters, technically.
Yeah, so they're on streaming. So
I
I think
think
that
that,
day and age is going to be extinct, which is sad.
well, and I mean, go back. I mean, look at not Spielberg, Scorsese. His last two movies, The Irishman was Netflix, and Killers of the Flower Moon was Apple TV. Not to say that those didn't get theatrical releases, because they did, but I think a good litmus test of this is going to be Disclosure Day. Spielberg's new movie this summer. We'll just see how it does, and see if those type of directors' names still get. I mean, obviously Christopher Nolan, Odyssey is going to do real good this summer, but we'll see if the older directors still have the sway that they used to.
You said Scorsese's new movie or Spielberg's movie hits this summer.
Yeah, in June, Disclosure Day. Yep.
So, but
go and put that on the list because we will be doing. We will be doing that.
Yeah, I heard it's like a sci-fi action.
Yeah. So, but going back to Goodboy, is there any like I know you give me some pause. I know you're not big on this movie, but give me some positives that you liked about it.
So some positives are the cinematography. for it being an independent film. I think there are some amazing shots in it. I have to say uh, the jump scares. I'm going to go off of what you said. The jump scares are original, and it does, it makes you feel for the dog. I think if this was an independent film and it was about Todd, not the dog, I think I'd be like, oh, that's even worse.
Yeah.
And then I think the camera shots, like not just the cinematography of the area, but the shots of the dog. Because let's be in all reality. If the dog's not troubled, if I can't believe the dog, this movie is going to be even
We got a real
worse.
problem. Yeah.
Yeah. So I believe the dog. So, and that's all power to the dog. That's the power of the dog.
I watched. Listen, I'll just put this on record. I'll watch this movie 5 more times before I watch The Power of the Dog.
So that's the biggest trope right there. That's the biggest head bowing moment is the dog. And I believe the dog. When the dog is in stressful situations, I'm in stressful situations. So there's, like I said, there's a don't let me sell you short on this movie. There's a lot of positives for it being an hour and 13-minute movie. There's about 55 minutes of positive scenes in this movie. Yeah. So what let's say you, Zach, what's some of your favorite scenes?
I mean, some of my favorite scenes, the eye nightmare when he's having the nightmare and the arm comes out, tries to grab him. Another great jump scare was when Indy hears something. The camera kind of stays on the hallway and it turns back to Indy and Todd's hand comes out from under the bed and grabs him, brings him under the bed. Thought that was a great scene. Honestly, the last shot of the movie where, Indy really wants to stay in that place after Todd's spirit goes into the cave or whatever. He hears the whistle, but he hears Vera, his sister, call for him, and he makes the decision to go with her. Thought that was an interesting choice. So yeah, I mean, like I said, there's a lot to this movie that I really, really enjoy. But and I'll go ahead and say the Psycho homage bath that's fun. Just being a film nerd. What about you?
I like the scene where Indy does go under the bed because he hears like the noises. This isn't the scene where Todd pulls him under, but he's under there by himself because he's looking at that rag or that bandana that's like blood soaked or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a good scene. The scene where he's debating whether or not to jump over the dog skeleton, I think, is interesting.
Oh yeah, like he's gonna get locked in the shed or something like that.
Yeah. And then the scene where he's on top of the doghouse and he's kind of looking in, like he knows something is wrong, and he's willing to get soaked and uncomfortable just to continue to see what's, he's trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And then the scene where the creature or the spirit is in the doghouse and he keeps pulling Indy into the doghouse.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of good thrills in this movie, and I just realized when Indy's sitting on top of the doghouse and it's raining, there's a shot where the spirit, Todd is in the bathroom, like they're coughing up blood, and there's a spirit. There's a scene where the spirit is standing in front of the window, which is like, okay, that's another Psycho reference with like, Mrs. Bates. We think that's her standing at the window.
Yeah.
So,
with Indy, that being the dog's name, I was expecting Todd at one point to be like, Junior, Indy. Da, 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 da.
And I forgot to mention, this movie, it got so much recognition. It was named one of the National Board Review's top 10 independent films of last year. So,
that's
clearly it, did something right.
That's big, man. Star rating, I'm going to go get this out of the way. I'm going to give it a 2. For everything that's great about it, I just will not have any kind of desire to ever watch this again.
Okay.
So what about you?
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm gonna give it a 5, man. It worked on, I guess because I'm a dog lover, it worked on me. I bought into it. And I think that's another thing with this movie is that if you don't buy the concept right out of the gate, you're either you're in or you're out. There's no in between with this movie. But yeah, I mean, Indy's performance, just the ambitious concept and the atmospheric tone is what really sold it, and I think it really paid off. And I thought it was going to be on the Shudder or the AMC Plus. I don't know. Did you sit through the credits when they were driving away? The dog's looking out the window.
Oh yeah.
If you stayed during the credits in the theater, they had like a little, I don't know, 3-5 minute behind the scenes of how they got the dog to do certain things. So it's kind of like a behind the scenes thing.
Oh, okay.
So
Nice. So a 2 and a 5. Zach, at least I like the long walk.
yes, and yeah, we gotta fit that into the schedule sometime this year. But before we get to that,
speaking of the schedule, we are just a few short weeks. It's already the middle of February, and we have an interesting calendar ahead. So next week, February the 17th, we are going to be talking When Harry Met Sally. February the 24th, we will be talking Citizen Kane, going back into our IMDb top 250. March the 3rd, it's time to go back to the theater, and we're going to be talking about Scream 7, March the 3rd. March the 10th, it's the big show, the best of 2025. March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, Schindler's List on St. Patrick's Day.
How appropriate.
That should be a fun episode. March 24th, we're talking about The Godfather Part 3, The Death of Michael Corleone. We are doing the Coda edition, Zach, so make sure that's the one you're watching.
That's the one you watch, okay.
And then the last day of March, March 31st, we're talking about Raging Bull, Scorsese, De Niro, Pesci. What fun that's going to be. So, man, what a March, man. What a March.
March is packed.
Yeah, we have a best of, Spielberg, Francis Ford Coppola, and Scorsese all in 1 month.
I don't know how we're going to recover I don't know what we're going to do for April. That's hard to follow up.
That might be
we'll do it, because you know what? We are here to please, and we are here to talk all kind of movies.
But you know what? As far as just a joy I don't give a care what anybody else is listening to right now. That's kind of insane for me to say. But just conversation piece between me and you, those are 5 really good weeks. Just for 2 people to sit around and talk about movies.
Yeah, that is. And I'm excited. We got, like we said, March is going to be a big month for us. April, like I said, we got to do some thinking about what we're going to do, but we might throw in some top 5 episodes. Who knows?
Yeah.
But next week we're going to do When Harry Met Sally for Valentine's Day. Kind of give we're going to do a Rob Reiner movie, and this is one, believe it or not, I have never seen. Have you seen it before?
I've seen it just once, way back in the day when I first watched it. Carrie Fisher, Meg Ryan, Billy Crystal, Rob Reiner. We have not talked any of these guys. Maybe Carrie Fisher back when we did Star Wars. But this is going to be, believe it or not, this is going to be the first time we talk a Billy Crystal movie, Rob Reiner movie, and a Meg Ryan movie, all in the same week. So next week is going to be impactful. It's going to be it's going to be a very mobile episode. So I'm very, very excited to talk about that movie. Not just the subject matter, but because of those 3, mainly because of Billy Crystal and Rob Reiner. So it should be a fun episode. So
yeah, I'm excited to watch it. I'm gonna give some Rob Reiner some love. Talk. We've talked Princess Bride, so we've talked a little Billy Crystal, but not like as a main movie. So
I was not on that episode. So
that's right. So you are going to be experiencing Billy Crystal next week.
Yeah, and we'll talk Billy Crystal. We'll probably spend a lot of time on him and Rob Reiner and the movie itself. So next week, full pack jam episode. We're also going to be talking about some recent watches. So next week, new episode, When Harry Met Sally. But do yourself a favor.
It's streaming on Hulu if anyone needs to watch it.
Yeah, do yourself a favor. Go check out Goodboy. It's on Shudder. Go stream it up and check out Shudder. Listen to this episode, and don't forget to join us next week for When Harry Met Sally in another new episode of the Cine-Men Movie Podcast.